Never gonna back down. Ooh, yes, you're wearing that.
Inspire Elsie's Radio, making Elsie's liquor again. A very good morning to you. It's a beautiful day out there. The sun is out. It's cold. It's still you can still feel the bite when you're out in the streets, but it is home. It is lovely, and everyone is out there. This is the She Ready Show, where her readiness starts within her mind. I am a C, and I am taking you on a long journey today. Today, we have a very special guest, someone that's very close to my heart, someone that's in my neighborhood, and someone that I see every now and then. I pop in there, and she's here with us this morning to tell us about her journey and her love for people. She's a community person. She's someone with a heartbeat for the community. And I'm going to pass the mic over to her so she can greet you this morning.
Good morning to all of you. Trust you all doing well, in spite of the circumstances. But yes, life goes on. Okay. Let me introduce myself. It's Corrina Brown. I am was the house mother for Huis Alleyne, the old age home in Bishop Lavis. I'm still, as it is, the house mother. I'm now the property manager as well, and I've been serving there for 6 years now.
It's so lovely to have you here, Mrs. Brown. Now, I've met Mrs. Brown, so every time when I pop in there, because I think I've been coming on with the older home for the past 7 years, and I think most of my friends passed on. There was Auntie Bessie, there's quite a few. There's Auntie Frances, or if you think it's Auntie Ray, it's like people that I was walking with. I used to go rub their hands, used to speak with them, and all these things. They're not here anymore, they're late, but it's always good just to sit with these elderly people, because there's always a story coming out, there's always a laughter that's coming out, there's always something that they can tell you, and you can always just grow with them. And Mrs. Brown is one of those people. When I've met her, you can see a passion, you can see a love for people, you can see that she lives for the people. And what so many people don't know about Mrs. Brown, because when you see her, you always see her on this end, on that end. She's in the room, she's in someone else's room, she's checking up, she's in the garden. And I think when I've met her, communique was very much part of it. But not so many people know, even in Bishop Lavis, that Huis Alleyne is privatized. It's a private entity. It became a private entity, I think last year, November 2024, and now it's privately owned. And Mrs. Brown used to be the house mother then, and she is still the house mother of this private entity at Huis Alleyne, which means there's more responsibility. But what's so amazing about Mrs. Brown, that she's very hands-on, She don't mind to get her hands dirty, and that always amazes me about Mrs. Brown. So when we come back, we're going to dig deeper in what makes her so passionate about the elderly people, and how did she come about to be there. Again, this is the She Ready Show, where her readiness starts within her mind. At Inspire Elsie's Radio, we are all about community. We are doing community, and we are doing life. And today with us in the studio, we have this lovely, lovely Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Brown is the house mother, and she's also the property manager of Huis Alleyne, which is an old age home in Bishop Lavis. Now, Huis Alleyne has been existing for the past 50 plus years, and Mrs. Brown took it over, say, around 5 years ago, plus minus 5 years ago. She became the house mother of Huis Alleyne. And what so many people don't know, when Mrs. Brown started at Huis Alleyne, she had a partner, she had a husband with her, a husband that had the same heartbeat like her, a love for community, a love for people, a love for the frail care, a love for the elderly, you know. And they, both of them, they started their journey at Huis Alleyne, left their house alone, and they moved to Huis Alleyne. And it's about a year and a half ago that her husband passed on. And this morning she is still running the race all by yourself. And how has that been for you, Mrs. Brown, that you started with your husband? All of you had your plans, all of you had this vision that God laid in your hands, you know, to run the race. And a year and a half now, you've been doing it all by yourself. How do you manage? How has it been for you?
Okay, very challenging, and I do miss him. I still miss him, as this day. Amazingly enough, on the 3rd of July, he turned 70, and we would have been married 50 years. It's a lifetime that we spent together. And previously, before we actually came to Huis Alleyne, we worked in the area Seabrak. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's just off the end to past Swellendam. So we worked there for about 6 years with the people living in the mountains, you know, and really it's a little dorpie on its own, hidden, with nothing. They had no work, there was no food. Really and truly, it was hard work. We used to get up 5 o'clock in the morning. There was no transport. We used to make the pots of food 5 o'clock in the morning and put it on these wheelbarrows and drive it up the mountains and feed the old people who weren't able to come down. And they had, it's almost, it's like a drive-in. You're just in and you're out again as you go on to Barrydale, you know, the pass. So they had the community center, the clinic, everything in the main road. So these people had to walk down from wherever they were because they need to be at the day hospital. And they're all on medication. And they just did, there was no breakfast, no food. So we would prepare the food, the soup, the bread, just so they can have something to eat, to take their medication. And that's where it all started. And then, of course, my husband took ill. He became ill in that area, in Seabra. So we had to move back to Cape Town. And fortunately, I was approached through Communicare at the time. And that's where it all started, with Huis Alleyne, where we moved in here. And he was very involved, especially with the admin part of it. So involved, you know. But unfortunately, yeah, he became so frail. And it's exactly a year and a half now that it's passed on. So through the grace of God, I just thank God every day that I can breathe every morning, you know, open my eyes and do what I'm supposed to do. And that he gives me the strength that I can get up and go and check up on all the elderly people, make sure they're okay, and do what I'm doing at the moment, and more. It's actually and more, yes. Yeah.
And Mrs. Brown, what is so amazing about you is your love doing it. You're so passionate about doing it, you know. It must be very difficult for you as you are still in your mourning period, because if you are with someone for 50 years, it's not going to be overnight that you forget. You wake up in the morning and you still feel that thing that person is next to you. It's never an easy thing to do, but just for you still to get up and give of yourself, you know, still working through your old mourning period, he would have wanted you to do that. And that is the amazing part. And that is the importance also of giving of yourself to the community. You totally sold out. It's never about what's happening in your own surroundings sometimes, because you are called for. What would you say is this? Would you think it's just the love road, or would you say this is a call from above? Because when I look at you, the strength, It's not out of your own doing. The strength is obviously from the Almighty, from the above. He placed that desire in your heart, and He placed these people around you. Because can you imagine if it happened maybe further down on that side, how you had it felt? But now you have something to offer, you know. You have people that you can speak to. You have people, you have family, but it's an extension of your love. I think when you have family, family becomes part of you. So you know you must love them. But if it's community, it's an extension of that same love that you pour out onto your own, to other people that's not in your bloodline. And that is the amazing part of it. Mrs. Alleyne, you are also a property manager of the place, seeing that Huis Alleyne, it's not part of community. And what does your job entails? What does your responsibilities entails as a property manager for Huis Alleyne?
Firstly, I need to say, the strength, I can just praise God and give Him all the glory. Because if it wasn't for Him, I would never be able to do what I'm doing. Just so that a little bit of history, my mom, she worked for the community. All the years, yes, all the years she worked for the community. She used to go out washing people's feet, praying for the sick, worked for the church all her life. As long as I can remember, she was a Christian. And I guess that's where it stemmed from. I've taken basically over with she. And that's how we were reared, you know, as children. So that's where it basically stems from, where the passion and getting involved with the community stemmed from. And then just going back to Huis Alleyne. So previously, as we've said, we were owned by Communique. And Communique had now sold the building to a private entity, who is Mafati Properties. So at the moment, we are actually all private. It's a private entity. And it's independent living, because with Communique came at least, they were sponsored, and they used to see to quite a few of the needs and help with the sponsors. And, you know, and if anybody took ill, they would be there. But now with a private entity, it's completely different. All they interested is the property. You know, you've got to pay the money. It's a business. So they need you to pay your rent. As long as you pay your rent and you're a tenant, that's it. That's where the line ends. But what they don't know, or rather what they didn't know, is what actually happens inside that building. I mean, I have 60 people there. Half of that people are elderly. Some in wheelchairs, some in walking crutches. You know, it's arthritis, it's, oh my God, it's bipolar, it's all the different sicknesses, diabetic, high blood pressure. And most of the tenants living there don't have families. Their children don't visit them, not even for a happy birthday or a Father's Day or a Mother's Day or even Christmas Day. Most of them are left behind. And that is where I come in. So I'm up already at 6 o'clock in the morning. Need to open up, check up if everyone's okay, if everyone have opened their eyes, especially the more frail tenants. In fact, the oldest tenant that I have at the moment is 99 years old, and she does everything herself. So God's willing, we might have to celebrate her 100th birthday next year, which is also an achievement. And so yes, and what happens is that they're all SASSA recipients. Most of them are SASSA recipients. They have to pay their rent. I have to make sure they're in a burial, because if something happened to them, I need to bury them out of the building, and do all the arrangements, obviously. And what is left from the government income, they have to provide for their own toiletries. They have to make sure that they eat, because they have to live from that money that's left. And again, that's where I come in, where I network with lots of people, family, close family, my children, and extended families. They all come in and help. I have quite a few people who come on board with me, who's come on board with me. Especially quite a few of the Muslim ladies that have come. I must give credit to them because all the time, we can't just receive and not, mention it, because if it wasn't for them, our people wouldn't survive. And I have them on board. So at least thrice or twice a week, we will get a pot of soup will be delivered, pot of food, bread, peanut butter jam. It doesn't matter what it is. I always say it doesn't matter how small, how big, but we put everything together and nobody will go to bed without a plate of food. Now, what's important is that because so many of them are on medication, they need to eat in the morning. So what we will do is make this big pot of porridge, pap or oats or whatever we have, and just to make sure that they can have something before they take their medication. And many of them don't have anything. So that is my biggest responsibility, to make sure that they have something to eat. Yes. Yeah.
And Mrs. Brown, how do you help the residents that are connected to stay connected with their families and loved ones? Because, elderly, they can be so easily be forgotten. Especially if you think about this generation now, they're all out about their lives, they're all about their doings most of the times. And some of them just place the elderly there and totally forgets about. But how do you make sure that the residents stay connected to their loved ones and their families?
Okay, at Huis Alleyne, let me tell you, we are one happy family. And everyone is loved there. And it doesn't matter who you are. I have people knocking on my door 24/7. Unfortunately, I stay on the premises, so I don't get the opportunity to get away. And because I'm like the mother there, it's every 5 minutes there's a knock on the door. Even if it's a complaint, sick, this one's fallen sick, or this one's got a complaint, or this one had a fight, because they're all different. They all have different personalities and come from different walks of lives. So me, I have to have so much patience. I can't fight because I need to set an example. So I will just sit and I will listen. And when they have now decided that they're going to stop, then I will wait for them first to just calm down, and then I will speak to them, call them in, and I will speak to them. But I make sure I don't only speak to the one person, I call the other person into whoever's involved. Yes. Call them all in so that we can sort it out. The problem. Yes. But we sort the problem out straight away. And the other thing I wanted to say to you is that connecting with the families, connecting with the children, it's very, very difficult, and it's very sad. Because some of them haven't seen their families for years. Some of them haven't seen their children for years. I'll make an example. We had an instance where one of the mothers was very, very sick, and she was actually on her last. And I had to make contact with one of the families now. And I phoned the daughter. At the back of a door was a page stuck to a door, and there was 2 telephone numbers on the door. And I phoned the daughter and I asked her if she was now the daughter of this auntie. So she said to me, yes. So I said to her, your mom's very ill. I don't think your mom's going to make the night. And she turned around and blatantly said to me, phone me when my mom is passed on. So that's what you're dealing with there. Very, very real out there, where children just forget about their parents. But phones, some of them, they don't have these modern phones like everyone else, but I am the connection. They will come to me if they need to get in touch with anyone. Unfortunately, we don't have Wi-Fi on the premises. I'm still looking for a donation for that, or someone to sponsor us with Wi-Fi. But we help each other. We help those who can, but the majority comes to me, and I will connect them with whoever. Yes, with their loved ones, yeah.
Now, Mrs. Brown, I know since it's been privatized, there were rumors like in Bishop Lavis that anyone can go and apply and live there. Is it true that any age group can come and apply, or is it just for a certain age that can apply for accommodation there?
Okay, the age group is between 40 and 60. 40 and 60. If need be, if it's really a necessity, because look, I do the interviews, I do the screening. But if there is a necessity where someone is really in dire straits and they need a place and they are fit to help themselves and can do whatever, because it's independent living. So they need to make their own food, they need to do their own washing. So if they are fit enough to do that, then I will overlook it. And if they're 62, 63, I would use my own judgment. I will decide. I'm not going to say I won't accept them or won't take them. It depends on their circumstances.
But
You
they
know
must be
how,
able-
but they must be able to help themselves, to do everything themselves. Then we have, now since the new owners have taken over, who is Mufadi, I mentioned, properties, since they've taken over, they've dropped the age to 40. Because previously it used to be 60 and over when we were with Communicare. But now since it's independent and it's private owned, they've dropped the age to 40. Reason being is that we weren't getting enough money to sustain the place. Our electricity, our water, and we only had, when Communicare when we were still under Communicare, we only had 30 people living on the premises because there was so much, too much involved. But anyway, we only had 30. And we weren't getting enough money in to sustain the place itself. And what has happened now is that we had so many rooms available. And since November last year, they took over, and up till now,
That's increased.
the place is full. The place is full. And we've taken a few young people on because we need the strength of the young people. We need people to help the elderly and to help in the garden because most of them have ailments. They have a back problem, they have arthritis, they're in wheelchairs. So the younger generation is at least helping me, because we have to see to everything, the whole run of the place now I have to do. And also their rent is more. They pay more because obviously they work. So they pay more than the elderly people. And that is one of the reasons why they haven't increased the rent. In fact, the rent came down of the elderly people. Yeah.
And that's also a good thing.
So it's a
for
good
them,
thing.
because most of them miss their daughters, miss their sons, and
Yep.
now there's a
Yes.
younger daughter that can
Yes,
pop into it.
yes.
Because we all need
Yeah.
that,
And also the younger generation that I've actually interviewed, or rather that's moved in now. It's a family affair because I've asked, some of them are family. Wherever is family, I would rather let them move in because at least they can, be in
Take
touch
care,
with
yes.
their elderly and take some of the responsibility from me. So if there's a sister or brother who needs a place, I let them move in because then it just brings them all together. And that is why I said earlier on, we want happy family.
But that's a nice part when you go and visit there. Like when I was there the other day, I was just enjoying just sitting in the garden.
Yes.
And this one came out and
Yes.
that one, and the benches just started warming up. And you can just feel there's younger people in there also. Because before there was a lot of elderly, and you
really
could feel it because
feel
all they do is complain, oh, it's my knee again, or it's my foot paining again.
Or they just stay in their rooms
Or they
and
stay in
don't
their
come
room.
out.
Yes. Mrs. Brown, what are the challenges? What is the biggest challenges that you have faced, and how do you overcome them in the old age home? What is the biggest challenges?
Okay. At the moment, because they were privatized, like I said earlier on, we have a kitchen because everything is
Yes.
communal in the building. So we have a kitchen, but we don't have stoves. We have 4 stoves in the kitchen, but they're not working. We had a washing machine, it's not working. So a lot of the challenges are where the elderly can't really, even I might look young, which is, but I'm not. I'm also an
Yes.
an elderly, and Who wants to wash by hand at this stage in your life? And some of them are older than me, and it's cold and it's winter, and they have to do their washing by hand, and you know the other challenges is that a lot of them, one needs to come out of their rooms. They need to participate in all the activities that I arrange for them. I have quite a few activities arranged for them. So some of them are just so set in their ways. They would rather just stay in their room and not come out, and some won't mix easily. Again, because, like I said, everybody has different personalities. But we continue. We continue. Nothing holds me back. In spite of the challenges that I'm having there at the moment, I continue. And soon those that are left behind, those that sit in their rooms, they will follow. They're missing out. They will follow. They're missing out.
Especially
And
with the younger ones
exactly being there now. And we try to celebrate Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas Day, depending on donations. It's hard work for me to work, you know, trying to get. Now it's even worse because I have 60 people staying there. You know, previously we were 30, so now I have 60. So I've got to work twice as hard, you know. And I normally start here at the beginning of August, networking with people, looking for donations to just to put that Christmas lunch together, and just to come on board here. And the another challenge we have is just that, or the tenants, I would say, the requirements are mostly toiletries, because those things are so expensive at the moment, and they can't afford to buy their toiletries, and everything they have to buy. And it's costly, it's expensive, food is expensive. You know, what are they left with?
And to last for them for the whole
It has to last for the whole month, yeah. So that is one of my challenges as well. And then just, you know, I normally ask people if they can, because it's not easy, you know, so many people are out of work today. Nobody can afford to do, even to put food on their own table. But to those who can, I always say, doesn't matter how small or how big, it's always welcome. We will make do. We'll make that pot of food, we'll make that pot of porridge, just so that our people can eat.
Can eat. It is estimated that the amount of homeless people, especially in Cape Town, is about 14,357 living on our own streets, of which a large amount is the elderly, you know. And sometimes we don't even look at it like that, because we just see our neighbors in our house. But if we look out there, I've seen the other day when I went to town, you know, and I saw a couple, the elderly, and I was like, yo, is there no one that can reach out to these two old people? Because can you imagine the joints? Can you imagine how cold it is, especially now? I think we have our worst winter ever, you know. And as much as we don't want to look at it, some of us, we just close a blind eye, forgetting that we are also following that path, because we don't know what tomorrow holds, you know. And Mrs. Brown, how do you stay up to date with the best practices and new developments when it comes to elderly care?
Okay. I could try to connect with lots of the community programs that happen. I'm connected to the day hospital. They all know me already. So should something happen, we get first preference. I can just refer them or take them in a wheelchair, drive them down to the day hospital, and they will allow me to go straight. No waiting. They will go straight through to trauma, and the elderly will be seen to, you know, with blood pressure. Oh, it's such a trigger. You can never tell. Almost every day someone's blood pressure is sky high or their sugar is sky high, and they need to get to the day hospital immediately. And then the only problem that I have is at night, because nobody has transport. And then thankful, as I said, the younger people that have moved in, there's two of them that have cars. People will say, you know, you shouldn't accept younger people. But people forget that those younger people are the ones who will get out of their bed and someone jump in their car, shoot the elderly, their mother, their father, their auntie, their uncle get sick. They are the ones who's helping me, because I used to sit and wait for forever, 3-4 hours during the night, waiting for ambulance.
To come. They don't want
And
to
some
come
of them would just not come at all, come the next morning. And when they get it in, the tenant had passed on already. And then they would be taken to Elsie's River Day Hospital, where I would sit all night with him, right through the night, till the next morning. And if, depending on the situation, circumstances, some of them would be transferred to Tygerberg. But even that, the connection between the doctors, nurses, Tygerberg, whoever, I am the one they would phone, or I would keep that contact with them just to find out how the patient is doing, when they are discharged. I am the in-between person, to keep checking up on them. And yeah.
So
So like I say, I'm 24/7. I don't know what it is to even, sometimes I don't even have the opportunity to enjoy a cup of tea or have something to eat. That's how busy it is.
And your mind
And
is
my
always
mind's,
busy,
yeah,
because you need to check
do
up on this or
on them
that.
all the time. And then I'm also connected with the University of Stellenbosch, whereby the third year students and the fourth year students, they come in and do their practical with me. So they interact with the tenants, in their rooms. Some of them need dressing, some of them need physio, and some of them need a little housework to be done, and they would do that. So I have those students from Monday to Thursday. And then we would keep fit, we would do ball games. We have quite a few activities that we prepare before the time, just to get them out of their rooms and to get them to take part, and to keep fit from there. So for those people, I want to say thank you, because I'm so grateful for them also helping me, making my job description easier. And it's not for me, it's for them. It's for the elderly. And they appreciate the fact that I've opened the doors for them to allow these students to come in and also to do their third and fourth years, So yeah, and that's also part of activities. We then, over the weekend, they have dominoes, they play cards, bingo, just to get them out of their rooms and just to feel part of that family. And it's going well. They all interact, As I said,
And it's a warm place.
and it's a warm place for them to be,
run to.
to run to.
And we're going to listen to one song or two songs, and then we'll be right back. This is the She Ready Show, where her readiness starts within her mind. In South Africa alone, hundreds and thousands of older people lack access to basic care and support services, with many facing risks to their physical well-being and safety. And what are we doing about it? It's time for us to step out and step into. It's time for us to tap into the elderly. Go to old age home. They need a hand rub. They need a foot rub. They need someone to talk to. You don't need much. Everything that we do doesn't have to come with monetary additions or whatever we can add, just to sit there or to listen to them and just to make it known to them that we care. That is more than enough. And I think I have this love for elderly people, just for the mere fact that you can see they get so excited about so many things, and there's always a story attached to it. And you don't need to, it's something that you need to work towards, It's not something that's going to come on you. I just want to tell you a short story. About 5 years ago, I used to meet this woman. Her name was Auntie Bessie. She was also at Huis Alleyne. I think it was 7 years ago. So I used to tap, and I met her at an event because I love poetry and I'm doing poetry, and she's also doing poetry. And so we used to share, our poems and whatever. So I started visiting her at Huis Alleyne. And I think it's 5 years ago she passed on. And at this funeral, it was at the AFM church in Bishop Lavis. I heard someone calling this girl's name, Aldeny, and I'm like, Aldeny, I only know one girl, Aldeny, and that was my bestie in grade one. But this person now, she picked up, Aldeny used to be a very skinny girl, and now out of blue, Aldeny is like, she put on a lot of weight, and I'm like, no, this is not my friend. Her hair used to be straight, and now I see this woman with this curly. It can't be Aldeny. And when she turned around here, it was my bestie. So I was visiting her mom. Her mom used to tell me she have like one daughter and two sons, and I never, because the surnames have changed. She remarried, so she was having a second husband's surname, and I never bothered to ask that. What's your daughter's name or your son? I was just going there and talking to her, and there was always something that she was sharing with me. And here I met my bestie at her mom's funeral, and I was stepping into her mom's life for the past 3 years. I even used to go visit there because we were besties from grade 1 up to grade 7. I used to go from school to her house, and here I was part of her mom's life for the past 3 years, And she was in tears. She was like telling everyone, she said, you know what, today I've met because over the years you go your own way and you don't stay in touch as kids that used to grow up. We don't stay in touch. She got married, divorced, and remarried again. And yeah, I was stepping into her mom's life. And that was the amazing part. And we were shedding tears because I was crying for her mom, but it was someone that I know. But when you meet people and you feel like you know them for a long time. I always had this with Auntie Bessie, that I know her from someplace, but I don't know how. Because someone introduced Auntie Bessie, but I knew Auntie Bessie. Because Auntie Bessie, the time that I left her, she was a teacher. She was a retired teacher. And I couldn't picture this woman that I see, this frail woman that I see here, and that woman then. But that is the amazing part, So it is important for us people to tap in, just walk into there's Salbro, there's Matroosfontein, there's Huis Alleyne, and then there's the other one on the other side of Bishop Lavis also. Huis Narina also. So it takes nothing, and you don't need to know them. You can just go there and sit there and just say
They just want to be loved.
They just want to be loved, and they just need someone sometimes to listen to them. And most of the time, some of the things they forget, or they talk a lot of, like they say, the minds become like children again. But just to show that we care, it takes nothing. Mrs. Brown, what is your approach to building relationships with residents and getting to know them as individuals on a one-on-one basis?
Okay, I'm very, very fortunate where I have a very personal relationship with each and every one of them. I know them like the palm of my hand. And if they have a problem, they know that my door is always open. They can discuss that with me, come and see me about it. And I go into their rooms, we'll sit and we'll chat, just find out how they're doing, and if they're not okay, what's bothering them or what problem they have. So I'm very, very fortunate that I have that relationship with all our tenants at Huis Alleyne, yes.
And that is beautiful about you, the times that I've come there and I've seen, like, if we are looking for you now, someone get up now, anyone can go to your room and just, you have an open door policy, anyone can come, you're approachable. At most places, especially if the ones that are in leadership or the ones that's in authority, they are mostly there, and then they have other people that will do the things that they will come and ask you, what is it that you need? But whenever I come there and I want to, someone would say, go call her. Did you get her yet? Is she coming yet? No, I'll go and call her again. You know, that type of thing. And that's the amazing part of you, you know, someone with a heart for people, someone with a heart with the elderly. You're not there, they know they can go and knock anytime on your door and you'll be there for them. You know, they are the mother, you are the mother that they don't, exactly. And that's the amazing part, and you approachable. How do you show compassion and empathy to residents, and how do you encourage your staff to do the same? You know, all the time.
We have lots of prayer meetings from, people from different denominations. It's an open door. So we every week, at least twice a week, we have prayer meeting, gathering, where we talk about these things. You know, whoever needs prayer, who's not feeling good, and just to make them feel, and also, like I said earlier on, to make them feel loved. And so we're very blessed in that regard. We're close. And if there's a problem, I will know what that problem is immediately. Because I'm hands-on and I know exactly who they are. So I will know exactly there's a problem. If someone's not feeling okay, if someone had an argument with someone, or if there's a complaint, I will know immediately, and we will deal with that problem immediately. I will not leave it for the next day. And that is why we have that understanding. Yeah, I have that understanding with my tenants. They know they can discuss whatever's on their heart, and they can count on me. Yes. Yeah.
And how do you find your support with those that you also own? You know, when you give so much to the community, and you're always hands-on with the community, sometimes you tend to, I still like it.
Yes.
But like I saw this morning, your son came to drop us here, and he was like, Mommy, how long will it take? You know, he just knew my mom is doing for that. Is there any one of your kids that you see that will follow in your footsteps from looking at it now?
That one that brought us this morning, he's the youngest actually, even though he's so tall, but he's the youngest. And I am so blessed. And I always say, what the work I'm doing, I don't want any rewards or any medals or anything. I do it because of the passion I have and for the love for people. I always say, blessings must go to my children. And, favor award. And they must learn from me. They must learn what I'm doing when I'm old and can't do it anymore. They must walk that same walk. They must be able to do it. And I'm so blessed with my children since the passing of my husband. They are there 24/7. I don't go short of anything. I can still share my blessings with my elderly people, give them if they don't have. And I will always have. Today, it's not about having money or material things. It's just having enough to survive. And that is how we live our lives there. As long as we have food for today, tomorrow will provide for itself. And my children work with me. They network with me, looking for donations and collecting food, stuff, to make food. And with their extended families and with their friends. This is part of my network where the children help and all of them come on board.
And I think I've seen that when we went for that Christmas
lunch,
the Christmas lunch.
Yeah, they were all
last
involved,
year.
yes.
I was like, who is this now, Mrs. Brown's? Who is this? Is this the in-law?
Yeah.
Who is this? Your
Yes, my
daughters-in-law call
daughter-in-laws.
themselves your daughters,
Yes. Yeah.
And it was just family
Yes.
everywhere tapping in, and they just knew what to do. This one was doing that one was doing that, and the other one was doing it. And that's the amazing, and I think that is where your strength also come from. You keep on doing what you're doing because you have a lot of support from your own family, and they can see the love that you have for this, what you are doing, and they just following in your footsteps, and you are building a legacy. That's the amazing part. And I can see you do it wholeheartedly, and the joy also.
Yes,
I can remember that because I keep on telling people about that Christmas lunch. You will think it's an old age home lunch. I said I was so full. I end up leaving my cake there on the table because I had more than enough.
We're so blessed, really.
And even the people that came on board, you could see the way that they respect you and the way that you see, they see you as a woman of authority. And for me, what's the amazing part, Mrs. Brown, like, look, I was just watching you from a distance. You were just the person behind the curtains. I think I did your face, the last one, right, 5 minutes, and you were so in a hurry. Don't worry, don't do too much. I still need to do this. I still need to do that. But everyone was just fitting like a glove, and nothing was, everything went orderly the way that you planned it. And I think in the morning there was still a bit of hiccups, but when the lunch, it was time for lunch, everyone just filled the gaps.
And I did all the cooking.
All the
I didn't
cooking.
sleep that night. I was
Wow.
up all night doing all the cooking. And because I wanted them, it was for them, I wanted them to let their hair down and just this one day enjoy themselves and be who they wanted to be. You know, always, and they did. They did.
And I was so sad the other day when I looked at some of the pictures, because I showed them of the
Okay.
to find out that the one lady that passed
Yes,
on,
yes, yes. That she was one of the younger ones.
She
Yeah,
was one of the
the youngest. She
younger
was
ones.
50, and we miss her because they're the ones who's always going the extra mile. You know, the younger ones will go the extra mile and do something, and they called me their ma, because they would always say, "Ma, are you okay? Check up on me." The younger ones, "Are you okay? Can you do it? Can I do this for you? Can I do that for you?" Because the elderly can't do it.
They can't.
Or should I say, I call them more the senior citizens. The
seniors, yeah.
seniors, I call them the seniors. I don't say they're old.
Yes.
But the younger ones will go the extra mile. They always say, "Ma, is there anything we can do for you? Do you need anything? Can I bring this with you? Can I bring that with you?" Which the elderly seniors can't do. And this is what people don't know, what happens inside. Inside, everybody comes on board because they know I go the extra mile. I will do, if whatever their needs are, if they have a problem, I would sit them down and I will chat to them. We'll see if we can solve the problem or help, you know. So for them, I'm very grateful. We're all human, and all have our own, they passed. And a lot of them think that they can still bring that into our, our world where we are. But they forget that they're getting older. They need to. The reason why they're there is to be contented and to have peace. That's what's important. They must have peace. So it's very difficult. We do have the odd here and there, who will actually just try their luck and try to create an argument or a fight. But I say I'm grateful that I have the opportunity and the know-how how to calm that situation immediately, nip it in the bud, that it doesn't get out of hand. Yes.
What personal laws or challenges do you experience in this role as a house mother? And how do you find fulfillment in your work?
Just the fact that people appreciate me, that's enough for me. I always say I don't do it for myself. I'm doing it for them. And even if it's just a thank you, or say, we appreciate what you're doing for you. Like when it's my birthday, some of them will come and say, "Happy birthday, Ma," and they will actually give me a chocolate. It doesn't matter how small or how big. And those little things is important. That means a lot to me. Just the fact that they appreciate me and appreciate what I do for them.
And just putting a smile on
Yes,
your
smile.
face.
That's all they must do. I want them to be happy.
And I can imagine it must be great to have you around, because the times that I've been, you've always
Yeah.
been the same.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
chat with anyone.
No,
you chat
no, won't
with
change.
everyone, So it's never about you when you are in. Would you say this is a gift from above?
Oh,
or do you-
absolutely.
It's definitely a calling.
Absolutely. It's a calling.
It's a calling.
You know,
There's
it-
no way around
No.
it.
I believe, it says we must give 10%. Normally with the churches, they always say, you're going to church,
Yes.
you must give 10% of whatever your earnings is. Where I look at it at a different angle. It doesn't necessarily have to be monetary money that you must give or pay to anybody. You might have a well-paid job now. Because you have a well-paid job, you need to pay a percentage of your salary to the church or to anybody for that matter. I feel even if you give 10% of yourself every day, then you're okay. That's important. That's
Don't be
important.
selfish
No,
about
no.
keeping
Share.
everything to yourself.
Give 10% of yourself is exactly the same as giving 10% to the church or to whoever you're contributing to. And if you can just do that, you know, today I'm going to do this for someone, whether it's my neighbor, whether it's a friend, that is your 10%, and that makes you feel good.
And that's what I said to someone. I said to someone the other day that love is a verb, you know. Love is a verb and it's an action word. So if it's an action word, you need to act on it.
Act on
And
it.
by acting on it, you give it out. Because love is not love if you don't give it away. What is love? Love is not meant to keep for yourself.
No.
Because that makes you selfish,
Yes.
you know. So
Yes.
love is an acting word, which is a verb. And if a verb is an action word in the same time, because you need to act on it, you know. And it's amazing because you can never call it love if you keep it for yourself.
no.
You
You must
need to
share it.
extend that
You
love.
need to share it.
You need to share it.
Yes,
you know.
yes.
And there is people that
No,
need it.
oh,
There is people
absolutely.
that is so much in need of love.
And especially where we are situated at the moment, you know, it's a poor area, it's in a township. We have lots of people out of work, you know, children, young youth, you know, all the youth on drugs, parents
I
drinking
don't think
on.
it's a poor. I think it's
You
a
know,
disadvantage.
but there's a disadvantage, probably,
No.
probably no. But the children at the end of the day, you know, they suffer, and in my situation, I don't only just share with the tenants of Huis Alleyne. I share with the community,
Yes.
the children. I share what
Larger
we
community.
get and go, and whether we have soup or any
And I've
food
seen
left.
you, yes.
Yeah, stand outside and I call the children, and even that numbers is now probably over 200 children coming because they're
accumulating, yes.
accumulating. So it's hard work. It's just, but you need to prepare yourself mentally for that. Yeah.
And that is like paying the way forward.
the way.
you know. Like the saying goes from above to within.
In you.
And from within to without.
There we
You
go.
know, it's only when you have experienced the love of the Father that you can actually have it.
Yes.
You know, and give
And
it.
give it. Yes.
Because that's
that's
our
so
purpose in
true.
life. That is our purpose. From above to within, and
and
from
to
within to without.
Yes.
It's not supposed to stay here. What kind of emotional support do you provide to residents who are struggling with grief or who have lost loved ones?
Okay, like I explained earlier on, I'm very fortunate where I have these students now from Stellenbosch. So I will try and sit them down, and I will try to get, you know, everything, have a nice talk with them, and just, you know, tell them it happens. But if it's a situation that I can't handle, then I have these students. They do psychology of all the different walks of life. They're studying from the University of Stellenbosch. And then I will call them in. I'll make an appointment with the tenant, and they will go in and they will help me with that aspect of whatever their needs are. Whatever their needs
so there
are.
is counseling.
Yes,
there is
counseling
for
involved,
depression and loneliness. Because
Yes.
it can be a lonely
No, it
place.
is,
It
it
can
is.
be a lonely place, and you know
Absolutely.
you have no one to speak to. Like you say, some of them they feel like they're locking
Yes,
themselves up in the room. So I can just imagine if you miss your children that you've been imparting for in their lives, and you come and you find yourself in an elderly home where no one comes and visit, it can become very lonely and depressive, you know, for an elderly to sit there and be all by yourself, or him all by himself, with no one reaching out to them. So there is some help for them that are coming out. And
I am very grateful for those people, counselors coming out and speaking to them, social workers coming out, which I'm connected with, comes and speak to them, and also speak to them about their health, you know. And then I also, as I said to you earlier on, I'm connected with the day hospital, psychologists, and so they come out and they would also have, you know, speak to them, group sessions and speak to them. So if there is someone who feels they don't want to speak to me, they can speak to these
they
people.
can speak.
They can make the appointment and say to me, Mrs. Brown, can I make an appointment with a social worker? can I make an appointment with a
Yes.
psychologist? And I will arrange it, and they will sort it out for them.
So, all the listeners out there, we have our 67 minutes coming up very soonest. So, make your way to Huis Alleyne. It is located in Bishop Lavis, right behind ShopRite supermarket, right? It's in Lenton Drive, just for 67 minutes. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. Just get out there and just spend some time with them and just see how they appreciate, because some of them, the grandchildren don't come anymore, their children don't come anymore. So let's do it, man. Don't think too much. Just sit there. If you have something, open your hearts, but open your hands. If you don't have something to put in your hand, just go with your heart. That's all that you need. Just your presence. That's more than enough for them. We appreciate you listening to us. We appreciate Mrs. Brown this morning for taking some time out. She have a very hectic schedule where she's at. Like she was telling me on her way here that she won't tell them where she's going, because otherwise, who let the dogs out? But here she is, and I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for you, Mrs. Brown, for doing what you do best, and that is to love, to love people. And people, most of the time they say, but how can I love? It's something that you do forcefully, even if it's not there. You won't feel it at first, but the more you do it, the more, you get used to it here. It becomes part of you. And you do it with so much passion, You do it with so much tenderness and gentleness. It's like, I feel like that you should be an extension of my mother, Would you say this type of job, I think is cut out for everyone? Or would you say this, we were speaking about it, is a calling. It is not cut out for everyone. But that doesn't mean, like I have some cousins of mine, my mom had a stroke, and we had this discussion because the first few months I had to be there to wash her and all this. But now she's doing quite fine, because you also need to show them they need to be independent and do some things on their own. And she was like, you know what, Cheryl, there's one thing that I can't do, and that is to wash my mother. I'm not good with the elderly. Some people, they just can't do it. I said no, but for me, I don't know where does it come from, but I love their company. So this is just an extension of my love. It's easy for me to talk to them, so it must be easy for me to touch them and do what I do. And I find it very easy to sit, but it's not everyone's cup of tea, and you can't make it everyone's cup of tea. But then just sit there. Sometimes they just need to just chat to them, it's fine.
Some of them just need to offload.
Offload.
And they prefer to do it to a stranger than to someone in the house. And just to get whatever is bothering them. And but like I said, even if you can't, like you said, not everybody, it's not everyone's calling. But you might have other gifts.
Yes.
You might do something different. Might come in and chat to them, might help them clean their room for them, or even just working in a garden or doing something, sitting outside, taking them for a walk. There's so many other things that can be done instead of doing that.
This is the She Ready Show, where her readiness starts within her mind. I am Miss C, and with us in the studio today we have Mrs. Brown. She is the property manager. She is the house mother of Huis Alleyne, which is located at 20 Lenton Drive in Bishop Lavis. So if there's any listeners out there that want to pop in, that want to extend a hand of love, a heart of kindness, you are more than welcome. Mrs. Brown won't turn you away. That's what she said. Anyone is welcome. If there's a trade that you want to teach the elderly, if there's anything you want to show them, anything that you want to do, come and sit and have a chat with them, tell them a story, laugh with them, you are more than welcome. That is 20 Lenton Drive in Bishop Lavis, that is Huis Alleyne. How do you balance your responsibilities as a living house mother and your own personal needs? How do you balance it?
Very, very difficult. That is in fact very difficult. The reason being is because I'm on the property, I stay there, so they feel they can just knock on my door all the time. Even though I say to them, I'm available from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. No, they will come whenever they feel the need is there because they need to do it now. But the one thing I must say is that the evenings I try to take time out where I go into my own space alone, into my room alone, and where I will just calm down and just, just be still and do what I'm supposed to do, and just gain strength for the next day, one day at a time. And then I also have a family. I have 3 sons. I have granddaughters and daughter-in-laws. So I try to at least once or twice a month to spend time with them at their homes. They'll fetch me and spend some time with them when possible. And yes, family time is very important. Or my children will come to me and spend some time with me. As a family, we try to have lunch together at least once a month as a family, get together and have lunch. And that's good. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Yes.
I guess they all grow now.
Yes, they also have their own families. So you can't really expect too much from them because they work in parents and school. They have children at school they have to do. And I understand that. I understand that too, yes, yeah. But they're on the phone. We're on the phone. We're always checking up with one another. They will phone me in the morning just to find out if I'm awake, if I'm okay, if I'm still okay. They will phone me in the morning.
How old are you, Mrs. Brown? I've got to ask you that.
Okay.
You speak so good,
I'm so face. Oh my God! Don't say that. Oh my word.
It's not blown out today, but
Because
yeah,
it
most of
was
the
the
time
rush. I'm 69 years old. Yes, yeah.
and just look at
Yeah,
you.
69. We'll be
And this is what
69.
happens when you give up yourself
Yes.
to community. You stay young, right?
Mm.
Because even the way that you walk, the way that you move, and your mind is still very much present,
Yes,
you know.
yes,
And
yes.
that is when you're busy with doing
we
something
do.
passionately that comes from the
Yes.
heart.
Yes.
And just to look at you, it warms my heart, you know, the way that you speak about the elder, the way that you speak about them. They are your family. Your
Yes.
family is there, but they are your family.
We
Because they
do.
are the people that you go to. They are the people that when you go to sleep, you're thinking about them more than your own, you
Oh
know.
yes, no.
And it's just beautiful to have. And I think God, He chose the right person for that job.
Thank you for that.
And I think Huis Alleyne, maybe they don't see it as yet, but you are the blessing for them. Because
They
you
know
just stepped in at the right
Yes,
time.
yes, I did.
Where they needed someone. Because even when you're walking there at Huis Alleyne, you feel that
Yes.
warmth. You feel that there's someone present. I've been very closely with the other old elderly homes, if you put it that way. And it's not the same.
Yes.
Because you will find a security guard there, or you find someone there, or you come at the gate, there's some.
Yeah.
But with yours, it's totally
open
different.
door, yeah.
You come in and you feel it's home.
Yes.
Maybe it's because I live in Bishop Lavis also, that's what I feel. It was my home.
Yeah, yeah.
But because I've worked with the others like very closely every day also.
it's-
And it's totally a different feel. It's a
Atmosphere.
different atmosphere. Yes, to say.
Yeah.
What can we do as a community to reach out and show support to make it easier for you as a house mother or as a property manager? What can we do to make it
Like I
easier?
said, we need someone to come in and help with the gardening, with the cleaning, just to mow the grass, mow the lawn, pick up the papers, because not all our people are able to do it. A little bit of painting, a little bit of cleaning up, and also, there's so many things that we need there, little things that we need just to make life better for the elderly, you know. So, and because of where we're situated, most times we have a gate broken, the actual fencing is broken. So if there's anybody out there who have that skills, who has the equipment to fix anything or do anything, like I will say it again, doesn't matter how small, will be appreciated. Yeah.
Will you give your personal
Yes,
telephone
yes.
number to the listeners? Maybe there's someone out there that wants to reach out to you, you know, when it comes to fixing something or whatever, if you don't mind. Are you okay with that? Okay, sure.
It's 072, the contact details, 072 062 3019, and it's Mrs. Brown. 062 3019.
And that was Mrs. Brown's number. If anyone wants to reach out to Huis Alleyne just to extend a hand of love, a hand of kindness, her number is 072 062 3019. If you miss the number, you are more than welcome to contact Inspire Alsis through our number, which is 068 102 4094. And this was Inspire Alsis Radio. I am Miss C, and this was the She Ready Show, where her readiness starts within her mind. You must have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful week, a beautiful weekend, and thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and listening to us this morning. Thank you so much, Mrs. Brown. We celebrate you. We adore you. We love you. And thank you for what you're doing for the community. May the good Lord bless the work of your hands. May He bless your heart. And may He bless everything that you touch, speak.
Thank you so much. And then let me say thank you to you especially, and to
Inspire.
as well for allowing me to come on and just talk about Huis Alleyne, because there's quite a few people who actually stay in Bishop Lavis and they're not aware of Huis Alleyne. But I'm hoping that people, at least become familiar and know that we are there. And just thank you so much for allowing me to do what I did this morning. Okay. It's a pleasure.
You are celebrated, you are appreciated. We love you. Miss C, Inspire Alsis Radio, making Alsis lekker again. This was the She Ready Show, where her readiness starts within her mind. Bye-bye.
La la la. La la la. She ready, oh to forget her glory. Yeah, she's standing up tall, confident.